Kroger Delivery makes it easy to do your holiday shopping in a jingle. There might be a lot on your to-do list, but thanks to Kroger Delivery, you can get everything you need delivered straight to your door at the same great prices you'd find in store. Our refrigerated trucks always ensure that your groceries arrive fresh. And right now, you can save $20 on your first order of $75 or more and get free delivery with a Boost membership. Restrictions apply. See site for details. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Want to shop Walmart Black Friday deals first? Walmart Plus members get early access to our hottest deals. Join now and get 50% off a one-year annual membership. Shop Black Friday deals first with Walmart Plus. See terms at walmartplus.com.
Whether you're ordering wings for the game, whipping up a 7-layer dip, or ordering pizza, there's something about football that makes you want to eat. And this football season, Uber Eats has the best deals on game day food. No matter what you're craving, from 2-for-1 pizza to buy one, get one wings, Uber Eats will be dropping new deals each week, all season long. Uber Eats, official on-demand delivery partner of the NFL. Order now. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
For over 50 years, Burlington's legacy has been great deals on coats for all weather conditions. So before you're caught unprepared for the winter weather, head to Burlington for name brands, quality items, and surprising fits for every family member. Stock up on coats, sweaters, and accessories before the cold hits, so you can finally stop avoiding the elements and start living comfortably. Warm up at your nearest Burlington location less than 1 mile away. Burlington. Deals, brands, wow.
Welcome back to Rams Up, your favorite LA Rams podcast. We are part of the Fans First Sports Network. You can follow us on our YouTube channel as well, at LA Rams Up. I'm your host, Mark. I'll be joined occasionally by my football gurus, Paul and Ian. Let's get to it. What's going on, Ram fans? Mark from Rams Up here, episode 597. Had a night to sleep on it. I'm going to share some additional thoughts on this Rams win over the Saints. What a great half of football we saw from our Rams. That game kind of captured the Rams' entire season. First half, floundering offense, uneven defense, and then in the second half, put it all together on both sides of the ball for the most part. Wasn't perfect, but that was a pretty good half of football from our Rams. Jared Verse continuing to impact football games. Pretty cool. Rams get to 6-6, stay in the playoff hunt, one game behind the Seahawks. Seahawks face the Cards next week while the Rams are playing the Bills, and the 49ers are taking on the Bears every week. There's going to be a shakeup in the NFC West, I think. We're going to get through a recap of the entire game, some team stats, also have my Fearsome Four Plays of the game, hand out some game balls, all that good stuff. We'll come back Wednesday night with our roundtable. Ian, Paul, and I will share some final thoughts on that and start previewing the Bills game. And later this week, hoping to have a Bills podcaster join me to share thoughts on the game as well. That should be a lot of fun. Before we move on to our recap, the Rams have made a roster move, and it might be a significant one. They have claimed cornerback Emmanuel Forbes, who was waived by the Commanders over the weekend. Forbes was a first-round pick in 2023, 16th overall pick. He was highly regarded, kind of a lanky guy. His draft profile says he was 6 feet, 166. His NFL profile indicates he's put on a little bit of weight, listed at 180 pounds now. Now remember, when drafted, Jack Del Rio ran that Commanders defense. Now they got a new staff there, head coach Dan Quinn, defensive coordinator Joe Witt Jr., and they just decided it was time to move on, apparently. Played in 20 games with 45 tackles and 2 interceptions. This year he had just 1 start. Now, in claiming him, the Rams have to pick up that salary, 4 years, $15 million. And the Rams had to make another move to make room for Forbes. They have waived undrafted free agent cornerback Charles Woods. Thought it might be Witherspoon. Ahkello Witherspoon was active against the Saints, but had 0 snaps. I thought that was kind of odd. Now, what's the rub on Forbes? Well, I read an article, Athlon Sports, covering the Washington Commanders. Their take was Forbes can succeed if he's playing in off coverage, still has the talent to play at the NFL level. And Rams must have liked him. That's a big chunk of money to pick up. Think they can rehab him a little bit and fit him into this defense. A young, talented guy. Why not? It's a lot of money, though. Now, it's very possible the Rams turned to Cameron Curl for some input on Forbes. Remember, they were teammates in 2023. Well, let's review the first half action. If you flew 2,000 miles to watch this Rams offense in action, probably a little bit disappointed. Saints got the ball first, and Alvin Kamara was gashing the Rams defense early, but Rams made a few plays. Christian Roseboom had a big tackle for a loss. Saints did convert a 4th and 1, though, but eventually Saints had to settle for a 54-yard field goal to take a 3-0 lead. This was the drive, of course, where Braden Fisk looked like he had a TD there for a second, but we all knew it wasn't going to hold up, and it didn't. Rams go 3 and out on their first possession. Worth noting, all 3 calls were pass plays. New Orleans' next possession takes us all the way through the rest of the first quarter. Refs missed a pass interference on Quentin Lake that might have been a TD. Saints ran a fake punt and converted due to a holding call on Josh Wallace, which was pretty obvious. They had a TD called back, and then a low block set them back even further, and they eventually tried for a field goal the first play of the second quarter, and it was no good. First quarter ended. Time of possession, the Rams had the ball for 1 minute and 2 seconds. They had 4 total yards to the Saints' 106, and of course they didn't have a first down. Hey, 3 plays and out on their only possession. That's what you get. Rams' second possession, Blake Corum getting some carries, had a couple of big runs. Stafford converts a 4th and 1, but they eventually turn it over on downs at the Saints' 25. Saints' next possession, they move the ball a little bit, have to punt it back to the Rams, and the Rams put together a nice, decent drive. This time it's Kyren Williams doing the damage, a 10-yard carry, a 17-yard carry. But then, first down at the 50-yard line, Stafford takes a sack, and the Rams eventually have to punt. And then New Orleans, last drive of the first half, add another field goal, another 54-yard field goal. So if they can just set up their kicker at the 54-yard line, they'll probably be okay. But they go to the half up 6-0. Halftime stats pretty dismal. The Rams actually caught up in time of possession a little bit, had the ball for 11 minutes and 19 seconds to the Saints 18-41. Saints doubled up on them on first downs 12-6. Rams had 93 total yards to the Saints 174. Stafford was 4 for 10 for 23 yards. Kyren Williams and Blake Corum combined for 74 yards, which is a good sign and a good indicator that maybe things are going your way, but the passing game, pretty pathetic. As the announcers noted, Saints playing a very aggressive man-to-man, and the Rams receivers doing a poor job of beating it. Kupp finished the half with 2 catches for 10 yards. Kyren Williams getting in on the passing game finally, 1 catch for 9 yards. Puka, 1 catch for 4. Rams had some pressure on Derek Carr, but could not bring him down, and really limiting the damage Taysom Hill did. Hill had 4 carries for 8 yards. Kamara, 12 for 80 yards. So given all that, pretty disappointed with the way this offense is playing, and the defense still getting gashed a little bit on the ground. But down 6-0, got to be a little bit hopeful, right? Well, the second half, you're at the game, you finally got your money's worth. This Rams offense started to roll, and our defense played pretty well as well. Rams had the first possession of the second half, 11 plays, 70 yards, and they drive for the touchdown. This is the drive, 3rd and 6. Stafford to Puka Nacua, a beautiful catch, stretching out, diving, making the grab. Kind of a poorly thrown ball, actually. Should have been much easier, but Puka, man, gets it done, keeps the drive alive. Williams eventually scoring from the Saints' 4-yard line. Rams defense forces a 3 and out, and that's what you want to see right after scoring a go-ahead touchdown. Rams picked up a couple of first downs on their ensuing drive. Nacua having another 19-yard catch, but the Rams have to punt it back. Saints' second drive of the second half. This is a drive Omar Speights just misses that interception right through his hands. I think it got on him kind of fast, but the Rams do force a punt. And the Rams have established the run at this point, and that opens up the play action, and Stafford hooks up with Demarcus Robinson for 47 yards. I think they called it 46 in the books, actually. And then Stafford finds Demarcus for the touchdown. Rams up 14-6 at this point. Hey, and our kicker is perfect so far, 2 for 2 on extra points. Well, this time the defense did not respond. The Saints go 70 yards in 6 plays. 21-yard play, Carr to Johnson, the tight end, to the Rams 33. And then from the 28, Carr to Valdez-Scantling for the touchdown. Scantling beating Darius Williams, and then they go for 2. They pick on Darius Williams again, Dante Pettis scoring the 2-point conversion, although D. Will's coverage was actually pretty good on that play. Then it was the Rams' turn to respond. 20-yard pass to Tutu Atwell. Then they're facing a 3rd and 10 at the Saints' 25, a penalty, neutral zone infraction, something the Rams have been guilty of several times in critical situations, sets up a 3rd and 5. And the next play, defensive pass interference, as Puka's going up the right sideline to the end zone, sets up the Rams' 1st and goal at the Saints 7. And Stafford immediately finds Nakua in the right flat. He runs it in, and the Rams are up 21-14. Saints have one last opportunity to tie it up, and they put together a nice drive, 14 plays, 61 yards. That last play, though, 4th and 3 from the Rams' 9. Jared Verse finally gets to Carr, hits his hand as he's delivering the ball. It falls incomplete, and the Rams have the ball, and Kyron Williams converts 1 first down. Rams run out the clock, secure a very exciting 21-14 win.
This year, Santa's bringing the power of Energizer into his workshop.
Whoa, the Energizer Bunny's got so much power.
Wait, he's powered up all the toys. I think that means we're done for the year.
I love this bunny.
He's the hardest working helper the North Pole has ever seen. And he wants all your gifts to have the power of the #1 longest lasting AA battery. So this holiday season, stock up on Santa's and the elves' favorite battery, Energizer Ultimate Lithium.
Looking for a pickup truck to get just about anything done? Look no further. The Chevy Silverado EV isn't just the most powerful Silverado ever, with next-level towing capability and technology. It also offers game-changing versatility with the available multi-flex midgate and tailgate, which means Silverado EV helps you carry large, bulky, and oddly shaped items up to nearly 11 feet in length. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. Visit Chevrolet.com to learn more.
Meaningless stuff. Why do we gift so much meaningless stuff? Tired of generic gifts and hollow trends? Shutterfly allows you to create meaningful photo gifts for your family and friends. Whether it's a cozy fleece blanket for grandma, a stunning canvas print for mom, or a mug to make dad smile. Enjoy 40% off with code MAKE40 at Shutterfly.com and make something meaningful this year. See site for more details.
With Uber Reserve, good things come to those who plan ahead. Family vacay? Reserve your ride as soon as you book your flights. To all the planners, now you can reserve your Uber ride up to 90 days in advance. See Uber app for details.
Before we move on to our Fearsome Four Big Plays of the game, hand out some game balls and all that good stuff, let's recap team statistics. Despite an enormous edge for the Saints in the first half, Rams caught up as far as time of possession in the second half, still about a 5-minute deficit to the Saints. Rams actually had more first downs, 22 to the Saints 19. Rams were 4 of 9 on third down. Saints were 5 of 15. Rams were 1 for 2 on fourth downs. Saints were 2 for 3. Total yards, Saints actually edged the Rams 327 to 322, but they ran 13 more plays. So yards per play was clearly in the Rams' favor, 5.9 to the Saints' 4.8. Pretty even passing yards, Rams 183, Saints 184. Rams averaged 5.4 yards per carry, the Saints 4.6, and that's a big improvement over last week against the Eagles for sure. Red zone efficiency, Rams 3 for 3, and that was really the difference. Saints 0 for 2. No turnovers in the game. Rams had 100 yards in kick returns to the Saints 0, and that was another significant statistic. Thank you, Jordan Whittington. So what were my fearsome 4 big plays of the game? I'll do this chronologically, and I'm going to focus on the plays that went the Rams' way and allowed them to secure this victory. The first one was the first play in a kind of crazy sequence on the Saints' second possession. Remember, Quentin Lake was covering the tight end Johnson, and to me, that was clearly pass interference, grabbed his arm, and got away with it. Would have been a really big play, and that's another pass interference call against the Rams in New Orleans that the refs missed, and Saints fans couldn't be too happy about that. So that was a 3rd and 5 play. Very well could have denied the Saints a touchdown, so they're set back to 4th and 5, and then they have that fake punt where they call Josh Wallace for a hold, and that was clearly a hold. You want to call it a makeup call, but it was so obvious. In fact, it might have been 2 holds on one play on Wallace. Extends the Saints' drive, but then they missed the field goal. So the big play really was the missed pass interference call, because if they make that call, the fake punt and the hold never would have happened, and the Saints might have had 7 points on the board. So they missed out on 7 points, potentially because of the missed call, and then they missed out on 3 points. That was their own fault, though. The second big play was actually right after that, in between the missed pass interference and the missed field goal. Saints actually scored a touchdown, but they called Fuaga for being downfield more than 2 yards, erased the penalty, and then after that there was a penalty on the low block, which was kind of a lame call. But man, it looked like the Saints had a touchdown, got erased by Fuaga's mistake. Really had no impact on the play, in my opinion. So the Rams are very fortunate. 2 plays that went the Rams' way and prevented the Saints from taking an early 10-0 lead. Fearsome big play number 3. Well, the Rams still haven't gotten on the board. We're in the 3rd quarter, their first possession of the second half, and they've been moving the ball pretty well, but they're faced with a 3rd and 5. Stafford finds Puka racing towards the left sideline, throws the ball, leads him too much, but Puka makes this incredible catch, sliding, barely keeping the ball off the turf. 18-yard pickup, first down, keeps the Rams' drive alive, and that allowed them to eventually score. Now, they would have been punting there. That was such a big play, a big critical catch by the great Puka Nacua to keep the Rams' drive alive. Now, what was fearsome big play number 4? Well, there were 3 significant plays as the game wound down there, and 2 of them, well, one was the penalty on Puka Nacua, the pass interference call against him that set up the Rams' final touchdown, gave the Rams a first down at the 7, and then there was, of course, Jared Verse shutting the Saints down on their final play of the game, that 4th down play where he got to Carr, causing the incompletion. But I'm going to attribute my fearsome 4 big play number 4 to Jordan Whittington's kick return. After the Saints had tied it up 14-14, Whittington returns it to the Rams 45, set them up for the game-winning drive. That was big. You know, if the Rams had been stuck back at the 25 or the 30, now remember, he had to return it. It was short of the goal line. So they could have very easily been starting at their own 15 or 20. Nice return out to the 45, and remember, he had an earlier kick that was called back. So maybe we have something in Jordan Whittington there. Looked really shifty and fast, very decisive with the ball in his hands on the kick return. That was my fearsome big play number 4, although, you know, the pass interference call and the pressure by Verse were obviously really big plays too. Hey, let's get into my rookie watch. As mentioned on the broadcast, the Rams have 16 rookies on their roster, And let's see how much they're contributing. Well, there are 4 that are not contributing, which is okay. Dylan McMahon, the interior offensive lineman they poached from the Eagles. Brennan Jackson, their draft pick this year. Cody Schrader, the running back they picked up after the 49ers released him. And Charles Woods, the cornerback undrafted free agent. He's been banged up with an injury. They are not contributing. Again, that's okay, but a bunch of guys are. Well, Jared Verse, obviously. 5 pressures, game-clinching play at the end there. Defensive Rookie of the Year. It's got to be in the bag by now. I know it isn't, but it should be. Blake Corum, 8 carries for 42 yards. Cam Kinchins and Jalen McCullough, one drafted, the other undrafted, combined for 8 total tackles. Omar Spates, I think he's going to grade out really well in this game. Justin Dedich did not play as far as I know. Bo Limmer, I think he's going to grade out really well too. Had at least 1 pancake block. Joshua Cardi, well, 3 for 3 on extra points. Jury is still out on him. Tyler Davis, he is in the rotation on the interior defensive line. Josh Wallace contributing on special teams and occasionally on defense. He had 1 special teams blunder on the fake punt. And then there's Jordan Whittington. Not getting snaps on offense, but he had 2 really good returns. One of them, one of my Fearsome Four plays of the game that I already mentioned, 16 rookies. And in this game, 11 rookies making contributions. That is pretty impressive. Now, with the Rams claiming Emmanuel Forbes and waiving Charles Woods, they're actually down to 15 rookies today. So who are my players of the game? Well, there's the usual suspects. Kyron Williams, 15 carries, 104 yards, and 1 touchdown. Puka Nacua, 5 catches for 56 yards and a TD. Stats maybe not overwhelming, but man, that big catch we already mentioned. Another one of our Fearsome Four Big Plays of the game. That was spectacular and critical. Came at a critical point in the game. He doesn't make that catch. Game might have a different ending. And you got to give a shout out to Jordan Whittington. Offensive line played well. Blake Corum contributed. Jared Verse might have been the best player on the field in this game, but I'm giving my game ball to Christian Roseboom. 12 total tackles, 7 solo, 5 assists, and he made some impactful plays as well, tackled really well. And, you know, we've been banging on the Rams for not having a soul on defense, a veteran player that can lead them, the glue that keeps them together. And you know what? Maybe he's been sitting there the whole time, and we've been ignoring it. Christian Roseboom, love the way he plays, snap to snap, and, you know, I can guarantee you his teammates love him. Christian Roseboom is getting my game ball. Not the best player, maybe not the most impactful player. That'd probably be Jared Verse, but I'm giving my game ball to Christian Roseboom. You know, Verse has entered that territory. Give him a ball every game, along with Puka Nacua and maybe Kyron Williams. Not Matthew Stafford in this game. I think he's a little bit off. Missed a couple of passes. Made easy plays difficult for his receivers. And Cooper Kupp, I'm not going to throw shade on Cooper Kupp. I'm never going to do that. But he may have been struggling with man-to-man coverage as he did against the Eagles. 3 catches for 17 yards. Let's see what Paul and Ian have to say on that front. What was the deal with Cooper Kupp in this game? Final thoughts. You know, it wasn't perfect. Sometimes it wasn't pretty, but some of the Rams really stepped up in this game, mainly Kyron Williams, Puka Nacua, and Jared Verse, and then Christian Roseboom, Jordan Whittington, Matthew Stafford, of course, and that offensive line, and the defense coming up with some big plays as well at the end there. Solid win for the Rams. I say we just forget about that first half and hope that second half is an indication of what's to come. If the Rams take that second half and package it, play an entire game like that against a team like the Buffalo Bills at home, do they have a shot to win? Yeah, I think they do. Not sure if it's going to happen, but we'll start talking about that as the week progresses. Rams get to 6-6 with a 21-14 win over the Saints. going to do it for this episode. Remember, you can reach us at ramsuppodcast@gmail.com. And don't forget about our YouTube channel. Our handle is at laramsup.com. Till next time, keep the horns up, stay safe, and have fun out there.
If you're a maintenance supervisor for a commercial property, you've had to deal with everything from leaky faucets to flickering light bulbs. But nothing's worse than that ancient boiler that's lived in the building since the day it was built, 50 years ago. It's enough to make anyone lose their cool. That's where Grainger comes in. With industrial-grade products and dependable fast delivery, Grainger can help with any challenge, from worn-out components to everyday necessities. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.